I'm seeing that a lot of people these days are becoming more aware of how they're controlled by the system. The system that we've protected and believed in for such a long time. Every day, people are waking up in bed, realizing that they've been slaves for the last 20 years. And the younger ones that go to school are realizing that they're just being trained every day by this institution to become the next batch of slaves. The day that a newborn baby comes out of a mother's womb, this baby is just another human resource. So every year, to celebrate the potential slaves coming of age, we buy him a little birthday cake with extra icing on top, we sing him a little birthday song, we blow out the candles together, and we repeat this process until he becomes a fully grown adult to enter the workforce, and then who gives a shit about his fucking birthday, right? And you see, every country around the world right now is talking about birth rate. And it's a massive panic, right? Because the system that relied on a steady flow of human resources are running out of slaves. So what are the options at this point, huh? For the system to sustain itself, what can we do? Here's an idea. How about we replace humans with humanoid robots within the next 10 years? That could at least alleviate the problem a little bit, right? So let's just invest all resources into AI. And while the slaves generate Studio Ghibli and enjoy themselves with ChatGPT, let's actually devise a plan that could divert people's attention from the system. Okay, and here's what we can do. We're going to divide each population into age groups, right? Since Korea has a smaller population, we're going to put millennials and Gen Z together, and we're going to call them MZ. So now that we divvy them up, we're going to make them fight. Here's the narrative. Gen Z is entitled and ungrateful. Gen X and boomers, well, they're just boomers. And just to spice things up, we got to separate the men and the women too. And make sure to use our politicians for that. They're pretty good at that. But the most important thing is, amidst of all these conflicts, we have to make sure that these slaves stay dumb, or else they're no longer good slaves, aren't they? Let the algorithm take care of this. Promote videos of girls shaking their asses in the name of dance challenges. Promote meaningless brain rot content so that these future slaves don't have the proper vocabulary to articulate their thoughts. Because as Wittgenstein says, the limits of one's language is the limits of one's world. This one's specifically for Korea. So for Korean public schools, ban kids from writing journals because we don't want them to think critically. We don't want them to develop this idea of writing. Eliminate awards because we don't want them to be self-driven. Most of all, ban all children under the age of 7 from learning English for more than 3 hours a day at a private educational institute because we don't want them to know the truth, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, this is just another conspiracy theory.